Welcome back to the show. The Publishing Club is here to give us some storytelling tips. Can't wait to find out more about this. From the Pub Club, we welcome Nancy Southern and Pat Spencer. Hi, ladies.
Hi. Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We're happy to be here.
Yes, well, I'm just going to state it on the record. Your sweater is adorable. And I
thank you.
Quite appropriate for today, St. Patrick's Day. But let's get into storytelling. First of all, I want to know, tell us what the Publishing Club is.
Okay, the Publishing Club, we've been in existence for, this is our 11th year. It was started by our founder, Peggy Edwards, who believed that everybody has a story to tell. And she wanted to support people throughout the village to start writing, telling their stories, and then publishing their stories.
I think it's fantastic.
So each year we publish a publication of stories that people, our members, as well as other people that in the village that want to submit stories to that. It's called Village Stories. So this is our 11th year we'll be publishing that. And one of the reasons we're having this session is to help our younger or more recent writers to, as well as some of our experienced writers, to actually improve some of their writing skills.
Sure.
And improve those stories that they submit this year.
So is this club for anybody or people that have had writing experience or beginners or somebody that just thinks, hey, you know, this is something that I've thought about for many, many years, but I've never really had quite the leadership or inspiration to start the process?
Yeah, we have members from that whole spectrum of people who are just thinking about writing and aspiring to be a writer and to publish, to people like Pat, who's a member and have published a number of books. So we really kind of span that whole spectrum and try to provide the type of programs and opportunities for people to advance from wherever they are.
Mm-hmm. And are both of you published writers? Well, I know you
Yes.
are.
Yeah, well, I'm an academic, so I have a lot of publications, but in a different sort of realm.
Right. So how did you get involved with the club?
I moved here a year ago, and I thought, well, what clubs do I want to join? And I wanted to meet people who had some similar backgrounds, who were interested in writing and creating change in the world. And I've been able to do that. And I also am working on a memoir looking at how my cultural experiences and relationships have shaped me over the years.
I see. So Pat, you have an event, or the Pub Club has an event coming up March 19th.
Wednesday, yes. Day
Oh,
after tomorrow.
that is coming up, isn't
yes,
it?
it's really coming up.
I can't believe we're in
Day
mid-March.
after tomorrow.
Tips for great storytelling. Give me a couple.
Give you a couple? Okay, one of the things, well, first let me say, the whole reason I'm doing this, it's a workshop. We're going to work. We're going to have fun.
Interactive.
And there's something very interactive, and there's something interesting about us humans. Most things, almost everything we have fun at, we like, and we try to do more of it, and we try to do it better. And the better we do it, the more fun it becomes, and so it's rather addictive. And so that's the center, the theme of my workshop. We're going to talk about color and how color can affect the emotion of your reader, how the color that you use in your book, in your writing, can portray some sort of characteristic about your main characters that you don't tell them in words. It's subtle, it's covert. You know, do they wear a pink dress or is it a red dress slid up to the thigh? Paints a different picture in your mind, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does.
Paints a different picture. And it can also work for the pace. Red, actually, scientifically, increases the blood pressure. Not very long, you don't have to worry about your blood pressure medicine, but just for a moment, where blue just calms it. So when you set different colors into the environment that you've written, the world you've built, it makes a difference. And we're also going to talk about what we call the war of dialogue tags against action beats. You've probably read a story that said, she said he went to town. He said she didn't. He said, she said, he asked. And we're trying to abolish those. And and use action. Portray what the character is thinking, saying, doing, without saying the word said, asked. And so turn it into action. And again, that's going to increase the pace of the story. It's going to bring more emotion. It's going to bring more visuals into the reader's head so they keep turning those pages.
Absolutely. That sounds amazing. I've never heard of either of those, so thank you for sharing. So the event is taking place, we mentioned, Wednesday, March 19th from 2 to 4.
Correct.
Who can attend?
Anyone, everyone who might be interested.
So they don't have to specifically be pub club members?
No, of course, yeah. We have an entry fee of $5 for non-members, but we welcome non-members at any time. And yep.
Yeah, even if you're just thinking of writing, you know, you're at the stage you mentioned, just have been thinking about it for years, this is a good place to come in. And it's going to be collaborative among the group, so it's a good way to get to know the group personally and as a whole, as well as to try out a few things and see if writing really is something you'd like to try. And the tips that we're working on are not are more advanced in the ways that a lot of writers don't think about it. So it's good for the person who's thinking about it or the person who's been doing it for years. It's great.
Right.
And Nancy, do you have any tips for writing for our viewers?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, when I first came across Pat's book, 13 Tips for Storytelling, I took a look at it and I said, well, these are some really great tips that I think anybody who has been writing, wants to write, could really learn from. So as an academic writer, I have a whole different style of writing. So my challenge is to really shift if I want to write a story that's going to be, less informational and more engaging. Then, these are the types of things I need to learn as well.
Well, that's an ongoing process, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
Always, because the more you learn, the better you're at it, and the more fun you have. So you have to just keep studying, keep looking into new techniques, new things, trying it.
Because it seems like there's always something on the horizon
Always.
that either hasn't occurred to you or something that's been introduced, right? So what's one great tip takeaway you can give our viewers?
The tip I give new writers is remain true to your heart. And that's not necessarily in the book, and it's not a writing thing, but weed out those things that don't apply to you and your heart and what you want to convey in your writing. We all hear about genres and that romance is the hot seller now and that other things aren't. But if you don't want to write a story about a guy who gets abandoned on the moon and has to grow his own potatoes, then don't write it, even though it turned into be a multi-million-dollar bestseller and movie and so on and so forth. But if that's not what makes you feel good inside, don't do it.
Right.
Write what feels good to your heart.
I love that. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up and invite our viewers to attend your workshop Wednesday, March 19th from 2 to 4 p.m.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us. Thanks
Yes.
for coming.
Pleasure.
All right, folks, when we come back, we'll take a look at Monday night's movie preview. So stay with us.